Hey, how y'all doing? This is Lisa. It's nighttime, everybody. It's late, you know. So now here, I'm just reading on YouTube. One of the guys, I forget his name. I didn't quite look at his name, but he was talking about how people sneeze and you shouldn't say you shouldn't say God bless you. In the scriptures, you will find where Jesus said, "May the good Lord, our Jesus Christ, may the good Lord bless you." It was a prophet that would, every time he would go enter into people's houses, and he would leave out when they were sick, and he pray over them. He said, "May the good Lord bless you." May the good Lord bless you. And Ezekiel, if you read Ezekiel would bless. When God told Ezekiel to pray, it was to pray over the sick. It was a prophecy that was told about when God made a back in the day of the Israelites, and he was telling the Israelites to put blood upon the post, and he said, "Death shall not come to thee." But this particular time, it was a prophecy that was about to be filled, and God told Ezekiel to pray, and one of the prayers was, "May the Lord bless you." May God bless you. And they prayed over the sick all the time with this prayer. So I don't know. They said something about the Catholic, something about the Catholic thing, but if you read Malachi, uh, the king of the Jews, he even said it. This is how they departed from each other. He said, "May the good Lord bless you." And this is how they departed from each other. Once he said, "Let thy will be done." But thy will be done came later on with Jesus Christ came. But Malachi, the king of the Jews, they that's how they would say. That's how, when they depart from each other, they say, "May the Lord bless you." And it says, "Thy will." If they'll approach each other and say, "If thy will be done." So those things been there way before the Romans. What I'm saying? The Romans, that's how the Israelites would say, "May the Lord bless you." And they prayed over sickness all the time, because you got to remember, they was in slavery. These people was in slavery. These Egyptians, they really didn't know how to treat sick people. There's a lot of Israelites died. What I'm saying? They didn't have any like medical attention and stuff like that, so they had to pray that prayer. What I'm saying? But when Jesus came along, he told the disciples, he said, "When you pray, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread." What I'm saying? So it's like he's praying he said, "Give us this day our daily bread." When he says that, he's telling you your daily bread, like healing, whatever you is of need of. That's give us the word. So the word might come with peace. You might need peace, understanding. You might need understanding. God say, when things go wrong, have compassion for the sin. What I'm saying? So having compassion for those who sin against you. He said, "Forgive those who sin against you." So these things is saying, "May God bless you." And it's just what it does is it just releases you of, he said, anger, but don't sin. So when they depart from each other, when Jesus departed from the prophets, well, the high priests, they weren't prophets, they high priests. When Jesus departed from the high priests, that's what he said. What I'm saying? So Jesus did speak blessings over them, even though they didn't believe what he was saying, that God was standing right there in front of them. They didn't believe the word that proceeded out of God's mouth, meaning that God used Jesus to speak the words, and they didn't believe it. So but Jesus spoke. God himself spoke over them. What I'm saying? So God himself spoke over the high priests. So yeah. So I was just commenting on that. But they said you shouldn't say it. But in a way, like I keep trying to tell everybody, me and other people, True Christians. True Christians. Because God said they're going to come in my name, stating that I sent them and I didn't send them. And the only one that would not fight against God's word is true Christians. People would not be out here trying to convince people that Christianity is not real. Christianity is real. You know what I'm saying? You just have a lot of false prophets in the world. You just have a lot of false preaching in the world and false teaching in the world. But you got to determine if you have given your life to the Lord. Trust me, if you are a part of God, God gonna bring it to you. Because Jesus named, he had 12 disciples. He said, I'm proud of everyone but one. He is of the devil. So Jesus gonna know, God knows who's real with their prayers and who's not. God knows who's real with him and who's not. He said, he that does my commandment is part of me. But he that put their mother, father, sister, brother, and child before me is not of me. So he said, only my sheep shall hear my voice. So if you're a sheep, you'll hear from him. But if you're not a sheep, how can you hear? He said, sheep and wolf clothing. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be a lot of sheeps, but shoot, how many sheep is real and how many sheep are wolves? You know what I'm saying? So there'll be people who come in falseness teaching the word of God, but they're not teaching the word of God. They teaching the word of really trying to get you to come along with them. The devil has to collect so many souls that, God is in the, he's in the soul business. But the devil got to keep trying to snatch them from God, because he know he ain't got that long to be on this earth. He know he ain't got that long. That's why he sneak behind true Christians. They sneak behind true Christians. That's what they do. They think they slick. But see, hell gonna be shut up. They gonna go to hell, and hell gonna be shut up. All of the devil's applicants that's dressed up in fine priest clothing, and all of these sheeps that's, you know what I'm saying, and what make it so crazy is that these people can't even eat from their own pastors. Their own pastors is not really feeding them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if God, he said, if God is for me, who could be against me? If God is for me and God has provided for me to, help others, you know what I'm saying? And you mean to tell me that some people, you can't even eat from your own pastor? Your people who has put ministers and preachers, God said, bring all into the storehouse so my sheep may have many to, your sheep can have plenty to eat. Now, if Jesus came into the house of Peter and Paul and all of them, and they had plenty to eat. Peter's family cooked for them. They cooked for them. They you know what I'm saying, they shared testimonies, and then Jesus taught. You know what I'm saying? He taught about heaven, kingdom on earth. He said kingdom on earth is soon to come. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to provide food for a whole, he said 5,000. Here it is. You got these churches that really cannot, these little small, these churches just coming up. You got these churches that can't even provide for their flock. You know what I'm saying? They can't even provide for their flock. They'll sit there and send their flock over somewhere else to eat. You know what I'm saying? That's a shame right there. So that's why I tell people, I said, man, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense of how these people is doing. I understand some of these people, they some of them is at their last wit. Some of them is frustrated and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to tell people to get under somebody that can really help you connect with God. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a desperate situation here where people won't see you. People ain't gonna see your desperation. People ain't gonna see that you're in a really good need. You know what I'm saying? That they care about you. You know what I'm saying? All they gonna do is try to block you and get what they gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like this: when you can't feed your own flock, when you want people to follow you, and you can't feed your own flock, and you got your flock eating out of, how you say, can these dead bones live? You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell people, I try to feed people life and not death. You got a lot of people feeding people death. You know what I'm saying? They ain't feeding them no life. Just because you eating a piece of meat don't mean that that meat is going to protect you, you know what I'm saying, to live, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you eating unworthy food, you know? And God has to be the one, like, say, hey, you got that food the honest way. He's an unworthy food. But God, he said, did you hear about, you know, David going into the storehouse stealing the bread, right? He was hungry. But see, David was working for God. See, and he had responsibilities to take care of his men. His men served him. You know what I'm saying? So God didn't mind. He worked for God and the men worked for him. So God didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? He forgave him. But the showbread, to say the showbread, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody busting in no churches, stealing no showbread. They busting in people's houses, busting in people's bank accounts, but they ain't busting in no churches and stealing no food. You know what I'm saying? They ain't busting in no churches and stealing no food, no shelters that these governments is giving these churches and these government houses or whatever. Ain't nobody busting up in there. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not telling people to do that, but I'm just saying. You know, God forgave them, but people is doing this on a regular basis. And this is why this one man said, man, I can understand people is out here struggling and stuff like that, but you taking from people who's been struggling all their life and they finally got their life together, and then here come you. You know what I'm saying? That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect for people to like really respect your church if you're not about honesty. You're not about, you know what I'm saying, you're not about struggles, you're not about, you're not about hope, you're not about, promises and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just people who just live day by day just to get by. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel bad for people who live their life like that. You know what I'm saying? I try to help motivate people. You know what I'm saying? I try to anyway. It don't always work. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this over 20 years now, so it don't always work. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I keep coming back to, that God keeps showing me, is young people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's young people, young women. Mainly, I don't know. I just, for some reason, God keep putting me, as a softie for abused women or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I try to tell God, I said, well, God, you said you wouldn't put nothing on me that I can't handle. Could I really handle, like, the extent of women that is totally distraught about their situation and don't care about nothing else, and they get tired and they don't want to listen to reason and they just do what they want to do? And would you put that burden on me? That's what you worry about. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to help, women of, that's been abused and, stuff like that. And that's what you worry about anyway. Then you worry about women who been in prison, and the reason why they've been in prison because they, you know what I'm saying, they got hurt by they spouse, or some women, they just, I don't know. I've been through it all. You know what I'm saying? I've been through it. I've seen it all and helped it all, and it's still the same. It's just another year. That's how I see it. It's just another year, and I just thank God each year that I survive it. I just thank him. I just thank him. I say, well, God, you got me through that one. That was a shaky one right there. So that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because you figure, like, you got a lot of women that's don't want to be a part of marriages anymore. You got women that don't want to be a part of relationships no more. And then you got guys that, I'm telling you, I used to go blow to blow with guys that want to beat on their women. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to blow to blows, man. I'm telling you. I used to tell niggas, look, I'm going to stab your ass. I'm gonna stab you, cut you up, and mail your ass to your peoples. You know what I'm saying? That's what I used to tell them. I used to tell them that. You know what I'm saying? And they looked directly at me. And they said, I believe your ass too. Yeah, better believe me. I'll stab your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Cut your ass up and mail it to your people. Be like, you knew this nigga was wrong. You should have locked this nigga away a long time ago. And that's how it be. You know what I'm saying? You need to lock this nigga. You should have locked this nigga away a long time ago. And being that you didn't, now look what you got to deal with. Nigga in a box. Box him in. You know? Inbox. How about that? Inbox like that. You know, but you got some men that is gonna protect the women. You know what I'm saying? I met some guys. They beautiful guys. You know what I'm saying? They protect women. You know what I'm saying? They actually work for an organization that protects women. You know what I'm saying? So I think a couple of my friends is with them. I think in Detroit. I think some of them in Detroit, Lincoln Park. But it's so crazy that some of these women they screaming out for help. They wanna leave, but they can't because they have people sitting over there threatening them and shit. they be threatening them, and I said, man, I just wish that, send a SOS sign or something. You know, get on the phone or say something if you. You know what I'm saying? If you being threatened, like, you better never leave me and shit like that, I'm going to make sure, you know what I'm saying? I remember my one of my loved ones went through that. And I was all up in that. I was like, look, man, you shit, I think 2 of my cousins almost died, over these damn men. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to tell women, don't let a penis ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? You can go get one at the store now. You know what I'm saying? Battery operated and shit. I guess one of them go fast, one of them go slow, one of them go medium. Then you ain't got to worry about this damn thing giving you a disease. You know what I'm saying? I know you want the real thing, but you got to think about it. All that shit come with problems. Big time problems. You know what I'm saying? God said don't masturbate, but damn, he got to understand there's some crazy ass men in the world. You know what I'm saying? He understand about the masturbation thing. Because a lot of people say that. Do you supposed to be masturbating? Damn that. God know that half of these men is crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? So you better get the masturbating. You better get to doing the cha-cha-cha. It's a cha-cha. It's a cha-cha-cha. You know what I'm saying? So, because I was asked that question too. I said, nah, I wouldn't do it. They ain't nothing but damn tease. I just asked God to take it all away. Take the urge away. That's what I asked him. Because my friend asked me that. I said, I just asked God to take shit away. I mean, if you're going to tease me with it, if I can't do it, and if I'm going to get punished for it and all this other stuff, might as well take the urge away. And let me work. Let me make some money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to love the money, God, but I just want to make the money. I want to make the money, So yeah. Okay, I wanted to come on there and tell about that. It's some people that they don't want you to. They're not gonna bless you anyway because you're already blessed. That's one thing you got to worry about. I remember T.D. Jakes went on there, and T.D. Jakes went on there, and he was talking about that. He had that. I think he had that session on there. And then it was a whole bunch of, I think the people who invested in him, people who, I think his books or something, his publishers, I think his publishers was in the audience or whatever, and he introduced his publishers. And I said, oh, that's them. Because I was trying to figure out who published all his books. I read a couple of them. I read a couple of his books. I like some of his books, even though it sounds like some of my stuff, but I like it, All right. Just wanted to come on in and say that. I was trying to figure out, was he related to Miss Ann? I forget Miss Ann's maiden name from Mississippi. All of them in Mississippi. Okay, y'all. See y'all later.